All right, welcome everybody. Good afternoon. My name's Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint. I'm going to be spending the next 45 minutes with you. We're going to quickly go over what DuePoint is all about, who we are. After the presentation, you're welcome to come speak to me, ask me any questions that you might have. Welcome to everyone who's tuned in around the country on the live stream. So let's begin. As you can see, we're a division of a company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. That's their building in the background, their logo. Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa. They were founded in 1952, so we've been around for a very long time. The FSP number we operate under is that one that you see over there. In the foyer above the water cooler, you'll see all our FSP licenses on display. We've got a license for long and short-term insurance and investment license. Our FSP license is on display. We've also got a accreditation with the Direct Marketing and the Direct Selling Association. So go take a look at that. We take credibility very seriously here at DuePoint. We want you to trust the business that we're going to be speaking about. So you're welcome to go do a Google check on us. Hello, Peter. Do what you need to do. But go do a background check. It's obviously a fundamental step in any proposition is that you trust the business that you're going to be looking at. The executives and the managers are these people up on screen. The three people on the far left, all registered chartered accountants. Brendan Benfield's our senior executive. He heads up this division. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance. His whole family have been very successful in the insurance space. His father founded Clientele Life. His father's a professor of insurance, taught at Wits for 25 years. Brendan and his brother Stuart, along with their father and some other shareholders, they started PMD, or Prime Meridian Direct, which is now the fourth biggest short-term insurer in the country. Tim Reynolds and Stacey Paul, they head up our auditing, our accounting aspects here at DuePoint. Tim's very experienced in corporate banking. He was with the First Rand Group for almost 2 decades. Stacey was working with Deloitte all her working career since she became an accountant. She worked locally as well as overseas. And then the two non-accountants, myself and Jane. Jane's very experienced in direct marketing or direct selling. She's from the UK. She's been in South Africa for almost a decade, but she brings with her a lot of that experience, because even though we're an insurance company, our growth is very much dependent on our ability to work in the network marketing space. And Jane brings that experience to our team. And then myself, I've been working in marketing and advertising most of my career. I ran my own digital agency for almost 2 decades. So that's the team. Again, you can go do a background check on us. We've got profiles up on our website. Our mandate as staff of DuePoint is to support everybody that joins us in this partnership. We want to see you effective. We want to see you profitable in this business, and at the same time, if we can make sure, if we can ensure that, then we can be profitable as a business. Okay. So, a little bit of negativity quickly. I'm going to try to gloss over this really fast. I always get criticized that I spend too much time on the negative part of the presentation. But unfortunately, that's why we're here, right? Because if everything was positive in your life, you wouldn't be at a business presentation in Bryanston on a Friday afternoon. So we look at some of the driving factors. I think it can get summed up very quickly in the fact that our salaries aren't keeping up with inflation. As simply as that, right? You look at your salary. I often ask the audience the question, who of us have got a 5 to 7% increase in our salaries every year for the last 5 years in line with inflation? No one ever puts their hand up, right? What does your boss say to you in year end? Says to everybody, oh, it's been a tough year. Sorry, no one's getting a raise this year. And then we see people having to toy and get violent just to get 6-7% increase in their salaries. So yes, the economy is one of the driving factors that kind of create that circumstance for us. Unfortunately, we get criticized for engaging in too many debt instruments, because now if your salary is not keeping up with the cost of living, I think sometimes we go to debt to fix the problem. And we engage in a whole plethora of different debt instruments instead of savings and investment products, right? And we find ourselves in this debt cycle. The debt cycle then exacerbates our personal finance position, and it really comes to a head when we reach retirement. Because if you haven't spent 40, 45 years saving adequately for retirement, when retirement happens, which is the same as retrenchment, there's no income for you at the end of that month. And you have to now look back and go, well, I've put this amount of investment in place to survive on, right? So to give you a quick idea of what that looks like, if you have R1 million, if you save R1 million over 40, 45 years, that R1 million will pay you out about 5,000 Rand a month in interest for 30 years. So you can live from 60 to 90 on the 5,000 Rand a month, right? That's what retirement planning looks like. So those are the driving factors. you're already here at the business presentation. So I would assume that there is need, that you're looking for something extra, and that's what we're going to be discussing. Out of all of this negativity, as a business, we saw the opportunity to create a system or a platform that the average South African can engage in to change their circumstance, right? To now change the personal finance position that we find ourselves in. So we launched the DuePoint system last year in February with 3 aspirations in mind. Number 1, we want to see the people in this business become debt-free. Because really what this business is about creating wealth. And you can't create wealth if you owe people money, right? So our number 1 aspiration is get rid of that debt as quickly as possible. And then that leads to our second aspiration, which is creating the wealth, creating value in assets that we have ownership over. And then the third aspiration happens on its own, just to be happier at the end of the month, not depressed. I can see everyone got paid today. Did you all get paid today by your employers? Not on a Friday, next week only. Okay, so maybe you're depressed for another week. But yeah, we don't want you to be in this debt cycle anymore. We want you to be free of the debt cycle. And that happens monthly, it happens annually. We know it because now we're going to spend, what's today? What's the big day today? Black Friday, right? We get so much statistics from the FSB saying that people are in such poor positions financially. But you go to Mall of Africa, Sandton City, people like ants buying things, just wanting to buy more, consumerism, right? We want you to be free of all of that. So those are our 3 aspirations. You can align yourselves with these aspirations or not. It's completely up to you. But that's what we have in mind for people in this business. It's not just about making extra money. It's about a paradigm shift. It's about thinking differently about money. And I'm hoping that we will educate the people in the business around that at the same time. Okay, so how does this work? Our guests here this afternoon, you have the opportunity to join DuePoint. When you join us, you contract with DuePoint. We call you wealth engineers, and as wealth engineers, we only expect one thing from you. It's for you to go out and build what we call channels of distribution. So I'll show you what a channel of distribution looks like shortly. But through these channels of distribution, which is really you just introducing people to us, our online platform will facilitate the sale of products to the people that you introduce to us. It's as basic as that. That's as simple as the business is. 2 sentences. The benefit for you, obviously, is additional income. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. I know the tea and coffee is free, but don't travel to Bryanston for free tea and coffee, right? We're here for the money. But the money that we make, the income that we produce, is one of recurring income. Recurring income is often described as passive income. Passive income is the ability to make money when you're sleeping. That's what my dad says. Make money while you're sleeping. Isn't that a great prospect? Can you imagine waking up in the morning and you've got more money in your bank account, but you didn't do anything? That's what we want to do here. It's the ability to free yourself of the time constraint. Employment, we are constrained by time. You have to work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, 40 years. You get paid a salary at the end of every month. Right? If you stay at home for 3 months, do you get paid? No, you don't. Right? In this business, we want to pay you. We want to set you up at a point where you can take 3 months holiday and get paid every month while you're on holiday, right? That's what the aim is. Power duplication, these channels of distribution that you're building is your opportunity to go out and find like-minded, resourceful, effective people to collaborate with you, right? To collaborate in building this channel of distribution for you. Because if you're effective in doing that, it'll increase your recurring income beyond your own efforts, right? So that's what we call leverage. Flexi time, the business is flexi time, right? You have the luxury of choosing when you want to do DuePoint, right? But at the same time, I warn you, if you don't do it regularly, if you don't commit and account to the time in DuePoint, you won't be successful in this business. We showcase the successful wealth engineers in our business on a monthly basis, and the one common thread with all of them is that they are constantly doing DuePoint. Constantly doing DuePoint, right? So bear that in mind, because at the end of this presentation, if DuePoint is something that you think you can work with, at the same time decide, how does it fit into my life? Is it something that I do every Friday afternoon? Is it weekends? Is it in the night in the week? Is it in the morning in the week? What does it look like for you? Decide that and keep yourself accountable to it. There's no startup capital in our business. There's no registration fees. There's no boxes of product that you have to buy to get involved in this business. So we make the business as risk-free as possible for you to engage with. There's no qualifications or experience required. That's great, because you didn't have to bring your CVs with you today. Did you bring your CVs with you? You didn't? Luckily, I don't care. Right? You don't have to worry about CVs. You don't have to worry about the FSB regulation. We look after all the FSB regulation. We contract you out of a lot of that obligation. So it really becomes accessible to everybody. You get to build an asset in this business. Now, this is probably one of the most important benefits, right? Because this is the opposite of employment. Because like I said, we work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, 40 years, 45 years working for somebody else, building up someone else's asset, where we don't often get to partake in the upside. So what's the upside of business? Dividend checks, ownership, shareholding, right? If your business, the companies that you're working for, if they suddenly double in turnover and profit this year, will your salary increase by 100%? Why not? Because it doesn't work like that, right? The only people that really get to partake in the upside are the owners, the shareholders. In this business, you're an owner, you're a shareholder. You have legal tender over this asset that you're building, this channel of distribution. You can sell it one day. You can pass it on to your kids to carry on because it'll be generating income every single month. It'll survive you. Think about that. Wouldn't that be something wonderful? A legacy to leave on to your children, even your grandchildren. They go, oh, Gogo left us this business that generates 50,000 Rand a month for us. That's where we create wealth, right? So you should be happy to be sacrificing time into building this asset. No selling involved, so this is one of the obligations that we actually contract you out of. There's no selling involved in this business. That's a great benefit, don't you think? Who likes to convince people to buy something? No, that's not fun, right? So there's no selling involved in this business. All you do in this business is tell people about a business opportunity that exists, an opportunity to create income, right? It's probably the most attractive commodity that exists in South Africa at the moment, just because of the lack of it generally. There's no stock and distribution issues because our products are financial in nature. They're not tangible in nature, right? So you didn't have to bring a bucky today because you're not going home with milkshakes and vitamins, right? Financial products are so convenient. We take care of everything. All that back office just gets taken care of. You don't even know it's happening. So we make the business as convenient as possible. But your success in this business is based or dependent on your ability to go out and build channels of distribution. It begins with you, with the sole activity of going out and speaking to people and telling them about the DuePoint business opportunity. If you're successful in that, and here in this example, you've been successful in getting 5 people to join the business. Those 5 people then go out and do the same thing because they also become wealth engineers. They also want to change their circumstance. They want to create income for themselves. And this is where you have the power of duplication that takes place. This is leverage taking place. Your channel of distribution can grow organically beyond your efforts, right? Beyond time constraint. That's why I say if you find people, you want to look at power of duplication, if you find effective people to work with you, to collaborate with you, they'll do the work with you and for you. Because this is what your channel could look like, but you only did the work of bringing 5 people into the business. So this is what a channel of distribution looks like. The better quality people that you bring in at the beginning, the better quality your whole channel will be. Don't go out and say, oh, I've got a job for you. Anyone who wants a job, come see me at DuePoint. What kind of people are you going to attract if that's your proposition? You need to go find like-minded people, your peers, because typically you're going to be working with these people for the rest of your life. Right? So you want to find resourceful people. So that's just another tip. You'll be warned and forgiven only once that this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. I know there are hundreds of those schemes floating around South Africa. It paints a picture of how desperate we are as a society from a financial point of view, where we will believe that if we put 10,000 Rand into this account, next week it's going to turn into 20,000 Rand. Magic, right? There's little elves duplicating the money. They just duplicate the money and magically put it into your account. We're not one of those. We're a 70-year-old, very boring, 70-year-old insurance business. Very reputable people here. And at the same time, Brendan and myself will never, ever tell you that this business is easy or simple, that success comes quickly. We'll never say that to you, right? You have to be willing to endure the downside of this business. And that is the frustration of dealing with people. This is very much a people business. People tell you things and then they do something else. They let you down constantly, right? But if you're willing to endure that, well, then you get to look forward to success in this business. And I'll show you what success in this business looks like. Okay, So there are two ways to earn in this business. One is through our returns program. The second way is through our rewards program. So I'm going to go through our returns program. Our returns program is what we pay wealth engineers at the end of every single month based on how much product they have in their channel of distribution. Right? So we pay a base return fee of £27.50 for every product that you have in your channel. Right? So remember the first 5 people that you introduced to DuePoint that became wealth engineers? They lie on your first point. They are 1 point away from you. And on your first point, you see how on the table we actually pay you 55 Rand for every product. Remember, it's recurring income. It's every month. It's not once off. On the second point, these are people that your friends came and introduced to DuePoint. They sit on your point 2. And on point 2, again, we pay you 55 Rand. And then the multiplier starts to drop. Right? It goes back to 100% at point 3, point 4, drops steadily all the way down to point 8. At point 8, it's 4% of the 27.50, which is 1.10 Rand. But what's important to note is that from point 8 outwards, you will keep earning 4% of the 27.50. We don't limit you on how big your channel can get at DuePoint. We don't limit you on how much money you can earn at DuePoint. We've got wealth engineers that have been here since day one. They've been here for 18 months. Their channels are up to point 30 already, right? We keep paying them from point 30. How long are you going to be here, right? Point 8 is still early days. So this is the mechanics of the returns. It's fairly straightforward. The next question we get is, well, how much money do people earn in this business? Give me an idea. So we built this projection over the next 5 years. It's based on a growth formula called 3+2. It assumes in your first month that you can bring 3 people into the business. That gets you qualified. And then every consecutive month thereafter, you only have to bring in 2 people. Right? So let's call it December, number 1 December today. You join 1st of December, you bring 3 people into the business, right? Then every consecutive month, January, February, March, keep bringing 2 people every month. So that's our growth formula that this is based on. If you can do that, after 6 months, you can expect to be earning about 2,500 Rand a month. Now, it's Black Friday today, so you're probably thinking, 2,500 Rand, I can buy so many things at the shops today with 2,500 Rand. But right, that's thinking like a consumer. If you're an entrepreneur and I say I'm going to give you 2,500 Rand a month, does an entrepreneur think, how do I spend 2,500 Rand a month? Or does he think, how can I make the 2,500 Rand work for me? Right? We need to stop thinking like consumers. From today, no more thinking like spending, spending, spending. We now make long-term decisions. So take a look here. At 6-month mark, you're earning 2,500 Rand a month. Here I've got an example of someone with debt, because I know everyone's got debt in the room. 1 million Rand bond. Right? You owe the bank now 1 million Rand because they paid for your house. And you're going to be paying back about 11,500 Rand a month back to the bank for the next 20 years. So I'm 40, I finish paying my house off when I'm 60, just as I've become retired. But I joined DuePoint, some success. 6 months later, I'm earning 2,500 Rand. Rob says, pay your debt off faster. Stop thinking like a consumer. So I said, okay, we do the boring thing and pay our debt off a little faster. So I take the 2,500 Rand, I put it into my bond as an additional payment every month. What's the net effect? It drops my bond term from 20 years to 11.5 years. I now become a homeowner at the age of 51. I make my last payment to the bank at 51. The house is paid off 8.5 years sooner. Do you know how much money that saves me in interest repayments? 1 million Rand. That blows my mind every time. Because the 1 million Rand is what my house is worth. It's the full value of the house. 2,500 Rand a month saves me 1 million Rand. That means I can now contribute that 14,000 Rand a month that I'm not paying into my bond anymore. For the next 8.5 years, I can put 14,000 Rand a month into my retirement savings. But it requires the decision today to say, no, I don't want that handbag. No, I don't want those Nikes. I'm going to put money into my debt. Right? After 12 months, you're on in excess of 100,000 Rand in annual recurring income. Who would like a 100,000 Rand check just before Christmas every year? Nobody. Okay, there's 2 people. The rest of you can leave. Right? That's 12 months away. After 24 months, you're sitting at nearly 30,000 Rand a month. 360,000 Rand extra a year over and above your salary. Keep going. After 36 months, we're close to 50,000 Rand a month. You want to see the bond example again? Here's an example of a 5 million Rand bond. High flyers. After 30 months, you're earning about 36,000 Rand. put that as an additional payment into your 5 million rand bond. You'll pay that house off in less than 7 years. Right, so our aspirations, we go back to our aspiration. Aspiration number 1, pay your debt off as quickly as possible. So I go, right, let me pay my house off as quickly as possible. I'm 40, at 47, I pay the house off. What do we do after we pay our debt? Start investing. Right? So I decide to buy another house as an investment. At the age of 54, I've paid that house off. At the age of 61, I've paid a third house off. Now when I retire, I own 3 houses. I live in one, I'm renting 2 out, earning 60,000, 70,000 rand a month in passive income, plus what DuePoint's paying me, plus what I've invested. Or I can sit back and go, wow, 36,000 rand, I can buy a new 911 Porsche. Well, paid off over 5 years. But that's the high purchase every month on a 911. Wouldn't that be good? Can you picture me in the Porsche? I look much better, right? I can't see the money going into the bond. That's boring. See, this is the decision I wrestle with all the time. Luckily, I'm married and my wife won't let me buy a Porsche. Okay, we keep going. After 48 months, we're close to 70,000 rand a month. After 60 months, 5 years. About 1 million rand in annual recurring income. Who could believe that you could have 1 million rand check at Christmas once a year, over and above your salary? You believe it? Good. I'm glad you believe it, right? But this is based on 3 plus 2. This is based on your ability to go out and find 2 new people to put into your channel of distribution every single month for 60 months. You think you can do that? There's very few wealth engineers that do it. You might think, oh, that's a small example, right? Small example. But you can do less than that. Like I said, there's a lot of people that do less than that. I call some of them the 0 plus 0 club. Right? They get excited. Whoa, look at the money, 1 million rand. Let me join DuePoint. I'm going to get rich quickly. And then they don't do anything. They get frustrated. After 2-3 months, they give up. Don't see them again. And that's about 80% of people that join this business. That's scary, right? What happened to them along the way? I don't know. But you can do more than 3 plus 2 because the decision is always yours. If you want to do more than 3 plus 2, you can be like these guys. So Nick and Shani, they were actually tracking 3 plus 2. They're probably just a bit behind 3 plus 2 because after a year, they should be at about 9,000 rand. So they're halfway to 3 plus 2. But why I like to showcase a couple like Nick and Shani is because they haven't given up. Right? We sometimes look at the successful wealth engineers and we see the big numbers they're pulling and we want to compare ourselves to them. And then we get frustrated because we're not doing what they're doing. Here's Nick and Shani. They've produced 5,000, almost 5,000 rand a month. Let's call it 5,000 by December. How much money did you have to have in a bank account to pay out 5,000 rand a month to yourself? Do you remember? You need to have 1 million rand sitting in a bank account to earn this kind of money. They created it for themselves in the space of about a year. So comparatively, if you're around 20, is anyone around the age 20, 25? Any under 25s here? Guys, if you start saving now for retirement, right? So this is what responsible retirement planning looks like. You start saving today. 800 rand a month, you start saving. After 40 years, you'll have 1 million rand in your bank. Or you can do it in a year. Right? Depends. Are you going to use the money to spend it, or do you start investing it? Then we got some high flyers. Jack Delama from Mpumalanga joined in January. He's already sitting at 8,000 rand a month. Right? Look at how it's increased. What's that, about 90 days, he nearly doubled his income. Don Landon, the doctor of networking, down in PE, joined in December. If you look at his business, he actually only started doing anything in June. In a single month, he went from 300 rand in June to nearly 4,000 rand in July. Don't know how he did it, but he did it, right? And you can go watch all these testimonies. We've interviewed these guys. Their testimonies are on YouTube. You can listen to their stories. And Don says, because I love what he said this business is so simple. This is one of the most simple businesses ever. Because all it requires is that you go speak to people. You don't have to go do a degree. You don't have to bring a CV. Just go speak to people. As simple as that. He said, but if you're not speaking to someone every day, you're not doing this business. And that's where people fail constantly. They don't speak to people on a daily basis. Right? Motla Sona from Free State joined in April. Amazing growth. 5,000 rand by July. Created 1 million rand equivalent of a cash investment in an account by July. sitting at 3 times that now. We've got thousands of wealth engineers joining this business every single month, creating an additional income stream for themselves. And everybody is different. You can see it. Some come and some go too. We've got people that earn 5,000 rand a month and then they disappear. We don't see them again. Bizarre. Bizarre, right? But it doesn't mean head office changes. The system stays the same. Everyone's welcome to engage with the system. Right? It's up to you. The accountability always lies with you. You need to decide what you want out of this business, and you need to strategize, plan how to get there. Run your own race. Don't look at other people. Decide what you want and figure out how to get there. We've got a lot of strategies, lots of training that shows you how to do that. So this is the returns program. This is what we pay wealth engineers at the end of every month. There's a second way to benefit, and that is through our XP Rewards program. So the XP Rewards program works like this. You become a new wealth engineer, you will start engaging in typical wealth engineer behavior, like coming to presentations, bringing guests with you, watching training, logging into the mobile app. When you do all of these things, you earn something called XP. Stands for experience points, right? So for every guest that you bring until the 15th of December, we will give you 1,000 XP as an example, right? When you start in this, you start out as a rank 0 wealth engineer. You see? You're not even on the screen. Because you've done nothing, you're not important to us. Right? You need to get onto the screen. So you need to get to rank 1. You only need 1,000 XP and 4 products in your qualified channel. And when you do that, you become a rank 1 wealth engineer in our rewards program, and you get a once-off reward of 55 Rand. But then as you start to grow your channel and you start collecting more XP, the rewards get bigger and better. There you see, 20,000 Rand, 50,000 Rand. We give tools to our wealth engineers that will help them accelerate the growth of their channels. So here at rank 5, we give them a Lightning USB drive. The wonderful thing about this little drive is that it plugs into any device. It can plug into cell phones, tablets, laptops, computers, TVs even. More importantly, all our video collateral is on that little stick. So Patrick and Pumi, they can show people the DuePoint plan, right? Our videos, our testimonials, whatever, because it's all on that USB device, and it doesn't matter what device they have around them, right? They're not limited to specific devices. Rank 7, we get these business cards manufactured. They cost us 12,500 Rand a set. They are premium business cards. There needs to be a better word than premium, right? Because I've never seen business cards like this ever. It was actually a pleasure designing these cards because I've never seen anyone with cards like this. They are 4 times thicker than any other card. They are heavy. There's no ink on these business cards. The edges and the logo are gilded in gold. Right? We nearly had to get them. Brendan always say they're imported. They're not imported. We nearly had to import them, but they actually get manufactured in Cape Town. We found one person who can do them. Remember in the old days, the Bibles used to get gilded in gold on the edges. It's the same process. These can be your business cards at rank 7. Why do we spend so much money on business cards? Because this business is very much dependent on credibility and first impressions. Right? When you go up to someone, you say, I've got a business proposition for you. And they say, okay, what's it about? No, it's with a company called DuePoint. I've never heard of DuePoint, right? Your credibility is still down here. You put a 12,500 Rand business card on the table that's 50 times more expensive than the one that person's got in their wallet, your credibility takes a leap. And the person is willing to listen to you a little longer, right? These are tools to help you accelerate the growth of your channel. At rank 9, we take our wealth engineers and their families, business class flights to a 5-star luxury resort for 7 days, all expenses paid trip every single year when you get to rank 9. The record is 5 months. We had one gentleman go from 0 to rank 9 in 5 months. He's going to be coming to this international conference with us every single year for the rest of his life. He's not going to know what traveling in economy class feels like because he'll only travel business class. So this is on offer to every single person in the room. Take a look at where we're going to be in 40 days' time. This is video footage of the resort that we're going to. You can go Google it, the Western Turtle Bay, Mauritius. I'll turn it off down. So you can feel like you're in the movies. Has gone and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun where no one can see. You stand on the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the Looks pretty good, right? 40 days we're going to be there. My question to you is, are you going to be there next year? And you're not going to make it in a month. I'll just give you that tip right now. Let you down easy. But 12 months' time, you've got 12 months to get to rank 9. That can be done. All of these people did it. Available for everybody in the room. There's no limitation. You'll only place limitation on yourself if you think you cannot get you. At rank 11, we spend R250,000 on a brand new car and present it to our wealth engineers in their name, paid for cash, no debit order at the end of the month. Except for insurance. You must get insurance. Right? This is rank 11. You saw our rewards table went up to rank 20. We've designed it up to rank 28. We've mapped out the next 30 years for our wealth engineers in this business. We're only in the first kilometer of comrades here, guys. The first kilometer of comrades, right? We haven't even warmed up yet. I want you guys to have a wild imagination with regards to the prospects of this business. Picture yourself in 30 years' time. Where do you want to be? Want to still be working for somebody? Or do you want to be doing it for yourself? Okay, so this is the rewards program. We've got a Wealth Quest, the little pink WQ that you see over there. It's our Wealth Quest insignia. It is a challenge that we issue to our wealth engineers every month. It's new, it's different every single month. It runs from the first of the month to the last day of the month, and we challenge our wealth engineers. It's called Come Fly With Me, November's Wealth Quest. We challenge you to be able to rank up a new or existing wealth engineer in your business. So if you've got someone that you brought into the business, you rank them up in our rewards program. And if you qualify a new wealth engineer, and this happens all in the month of November, you'll have a big screen TV, a 49-inch smart LED TV sitting in your lounge for Christmas that you didn't spend a cent on, but you worked for it. All right? So that's the offer for November. We get asked the question, how does DuePoint afford all of this? We basically just explain our business model. Traditional companies, insurance companies at least, spend a lot of money on client acquisition. They take a portion of our premium and it gets attributed to next month's marketing budget, right? Because that's how they get clients. They've got to spend a lot of money on marketing and advertising. DuePoint doesn't spend a cent on marketing and advertising. You won't see a DuePoint logo outside of this building because we depend on you to go tell people about the DuePoint opportunity. And so we don't have to spend the billions that the insurance industry spends annually on marketing and advertising. We can take that portion of our payments and give it to our wealth engineers in the form of returns and rewards and the wealth quests that we do. And that's basically how our business model works here at DuePoint. We've got 3 products. The 3 products are very straightforward products. They are, or their benefit are all financial in nature, starting with Access Wealth. The Access Wealth plan is made up of 2 independent products. For 299 Rand a month, 100 Rand will be invested into a tax-free investment account that sits with Sanlam. Okay, it's not a notice or a fixed deposit. That means you can draw that investment out at any stage, immediately, right? So you've got full access to it, but I'll give you a tip. If you keep drawing out your investment, it's not an investment. Okay? But that's the details around the investment. 100 Rand gets invested into that every month. And then the second part of the Access Wealth plan is the amount of personal accident cover that you receive. And that's to the value of 110,000 Rand. So to give you an idea, if you have this product, you're investing 100 Rand every month into Sanlam, it's costing you 299 Rand a month. And at the same time, if you're killed in some form of accident, so you're shot or a car accident, or you fall off the ladder, you slip in the bathroom, whatever happens, and you're killed in that accident, we'll pay out your beneficiaries 110,000 Rand. I want to go to that funeral, because that sounds like a big party. 110,000 Rand funeral, that's not bad, right? Okay, so that's the Access Wealth plan. Product number 1, the investment product. Product number 2 is called Wealth Guard. So this is strictly insurance. For 274 Rand a month, you get 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover, right? So it's the same as the personal accident cover on the previous product, but just way more cover, 1.1 million Rand. The beauty of our personal accident cover products is that we don't profile you from a health risk point of view. So this is not life insurance, this is not funeral cover, this is personal accident cover. The beauty of personal accident cover is that regardless of your age and your health status, you can take out this product and the premium remains the same. right? The other ones, life insurance, funeral cover, I want to know your health. You have to declare to me all your health issues. You're diabetic, you went to see the doctor, or you've got back problems, right? And those all fall into exclusions. We don't have any of that. Our claim process is squeaky clean. We paid out 100% of our claims last year. That gives you an idea how great this product is. Wealth Points. So this is our third product. Wealth Points aims to save us money on the money that we spend every month anyway, right? So we're spending a fortune on certain things, especially groceries. So we've got supermarkets here, we've got retailers, we've got data providers. You want data? A gig of data, 36 Rand with Always On. So we've got a host of partners here. For 274 Rand a month, you get to enjoy all the discounts that we've negotiated with the list of partners. We are always adding new partners to this product all the time. So it's ever evolving, all right? If you want immediate benefit out of any of our products, this is the product to take. So if you have any questions on the products, like I said, they're very straightforward. We've got more details on the website, and we've got a video that goes into depth about the benefit of the products on YouTube. So you're free to go take a look at that. So what is the decision that we need to make this afternoon? Because you have to make a decision. You're forced to. You're forced to. Even not making a decision is a decision in itself, right? That's called apathy, and apathy is one of the worst traits. I saw a wonderful video on this man who calls himself a card mechanic. Do you know what a card mechanic is? It's actually one of these, what do you call them? Magicians, card magician, right? So he's got the cards, he's got his sleeves rolled up, and he does magic with his cards. You can't believe it. But he's blind. The man is blind, right? And he's one of the best card mechanics in the world. And he said he would much rather be blind than apathetic. You know what apathetic is? It means when you don't do anything, right? You just don't do anything. So what's our decision? I think the decision is very simple. Are you willing to endure the downside of entrepreneurship to enjoy the upside? That's what's on offer here. I showed you everything on offer. It looks great, right? Take all the hype out of it. This business is really about creating returns. Take the holiday out and the car out. It's about creating returns for yourself. But are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to sacrifice time every Friday, every weekend, the evenings in the week, whatever it looks like for you? Are you able to endure that for 5 years? Because you need to put 5 years of hard work in, and I think you'll be sorted in this business. You can then step back, go on your 3-month holiday. Be one of the parents that pays for their kids' education a year up front. You know that checkbox on the form? Who ticks that checkbox on the form? Want to pay a year up front. You don't even get a discount. It's just a convenience option, right? I want you to be one of the parents that do that. Not worry about your kids' education. I want you to sort all of that out. So that's what's on offer. That's the decision. How do you join? Very straightforward. First, read our code of conduct. It defines what you can and cannot do as a wealth engineer. Very important. Then jump onto our website, register as a wealth engineer. Our website address is www.dewpoint.net, or you can use the app that the person that brought you here, they've got an app, you can do the application on there. It takes about 7 minutes, and then start applying yourself to this business. First, arm yourself with the knowledge. We've got 500 videos on YouTube. Everything, from training to testimonies to intro presentations, all neatly categorized, right? Don't be overwhelmed by the 500 videos. Everything's neatly sorted out. Go take a look at that. Apply yourself to the business. It means setting goals. You need to treat this like a business. If you ever read a business book, it talks about those boring things: setting goals, planning, strategy, developing culture, leadership, accountability. You've got to do all those things, right? But we help you through it, prepare a plan, and then the basic activity of just going out and speaking to people. If you're not speaking to someone every day, you're not doing this business. All right? We've got merchandise. Consider the merchandise. If anything, get business cards, please. Like I said, credibility, very important. Go speak to someone about a business proposition. You look good. You do the pitch right. They say, oh, great. How do I get hold of you? Let me take out the scrap piece of paper. I'll write my number here for you. No! Get the business cards. At rank 7, you'll get the fancy ones. But now you get the white ones, right? Don't discriminate. Okay. And we've got a host of other things. We've got USB sticks, all the videos on there. So if you're scared of spending data, get the USB stick. And those pins represent people that earn money at DuePoint. If you look around and you see people without pins, you don't necessarily want to ask them for advice. Go to the people with the pins on. They know how to earn money in this business. Once you join, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like I said, 500 videos. It'll tell you every time a live stream begins. It'll tell you every time we load a new video. Download our mobile app on Android and Apple devices. And then once you download the mobile app, update your photo. Because the moment you update your photo, we'll give you 1,000 XP. Just like that. 1,000 XP for a smile. No sunglasses and no duck lips. You know some people are taking these photos like this. We don't want those. It's a passport photo with a smile, right? Do that. So the app and YouTube. Some don'ts, because I know you're not going to read the code of conduct. Some don'ts. You cannot become a wealth engineer if you don't have the resources to be a wealth engineer. That is, in terms of affording the product, data expenses, travel expenses, that type of thing. Those are the investments you're going to have to make in this business, right? If you want to thrive. You can do the business without that, but I don't think you're going to thrive. This is very much a data-driven site. We've invested heavily in technology. We don't have printed anything in this business. And transport, you're going to have to meet the people that you bring into the business. Come to head office every now and again. You're going to have to travel a bit to prospect, right? There's costs associated with it. Don't ever complete a DuePoint application form on behalf of somebody else. This is fraudulent. Not only in contravention of code of conduct, it is fraudulent. You're breaking the law. You can go to jail for that. Right? So don't fill it out on behalf of somebody else. A person must do their own application themselves. Don't add direct family members into your business that stay in your household. If they're family members that don't live with you, they can join your channel. If they live with you, they can't join your channel. Right? We call it an anti-stacking rule, anti-manipulation rule. Don't start your own DuePoint Facebook page, please. I'm talking to everybody, everyone on the live stream too. My number one pet hate. Do not start advertising us on Facebook. You're not allowed to do it. It's actually in contravention of our code of conduct, contravention of the Phase Act of 2003. Okay? We suspend those people immediately. We've got an external company that reports on that stuff daily. We find you. You're on social media. We'll find you. We suspend you. You've got to phone us, say sorry, take your Facebook post down. Okay? And then, lastly, take care of the people that you prospect. Right? That means if you've got someone that's coming to head office, make sure you accompany them to head office. Look after them. These are people that might turn you into a millionaire. You don't know. Right? Look after them. You have responsibility around the people that you prospect. Okay. It's not a smash and grab. Okay. Teamworks meetings. You have the opportunity to do a Teamworks meeting with us. Right? What is that? It's your opportunity to phone reception and say, I'd like to have a meeting with Brendan or Rob. I want them to help me with my channel building. And we will do that. We will give you that time, that personal time, to help strategize your success with your team, with your channel. And we'll set up a live stream. You've got people outside of Gauteng. We'll set up the live stream. They can tune in. It's a wonderful opportunity. But you've got to phone us. I don't phone you. We've got development seminar tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Our summer 2018 campaign kicks off. Right? So make sure you tune into it or watch it on the weekend a little later or come to head office. Up to you. But make sure they engage in this. And we've got something special for tomorrow. We've got Black Friday at Ford, at Eagle Ford on a Saturday. Amazing discounts on cars. Anyone feel like buying a car tomorrow? Or come for a test drive. Right? They're going to have all the cars here. They've got people here to take you on test drives. So beware of that. Tell your channel about it. And my reminder, we now have 6 days left till the end of the month. In the next 6 days, it'll define how much you get paid just before Christmas. Because all of November's work, we reconcile at the middle in December, and then just before Christmas, we pay out all our wealth engineers for November's work. You've got 6 days left of November. Opportunities to speak to someone every day, build up a little bit of a channel so that you get a paycheck just before Christmas. So you're either going to get a paycheck or you're not going to get a paycheck. Right? Make sure you get the paycheck work. Guys, we are done. Remember, the only person that can design their future is you. So start now. Good luck.